Hey folks, it's Nick Granville. Welcome to Guitar Daily. So that was the Beatles and Come Together. One of my favourite Beatles tunes. It's just great. Such a groove. I wanted to talk about this song today because there's some really cool things we can learn from. And not just like in a songwriting sense, but guitar-wise and all kinds of things. So there's that bass line melody thing at the beginning, then the actual vocal part of the tune. It's got this real swampiness about it. And the key to that is like that particular groove, and we'll go over that as well. And then of course you have that B section, which is like a total departure from everything else. So the first bit, now what that tells me straight away is like the power of a really cool riff, right? And I'm jamming my own little things on it, but it's basically a D power chord, and then that, right? And of course, it's a bass line, right? And then when I went to the melody, I went, that's just C and F, which is sort of when I play with my trio, that's the way I play this tune. And I'm doubling it with the open string because in the trio setting you can do that, right? And again, the power of that as a conceptual thing, I mean, really what's going on there is the root note is a D and the melody note is an F. That's the real one that's implied, right? And out of that we get a minor thing straight away. We don't need anything else other than the bass note and the melody note. And that should be a lesson to us all. If you play in a trio, so you play in guitar, bass, drums, trio. If you play thirds, we have the melody. It's one of the reasons all guitar players tend to like the tune All the Things You Are, is because all the melody notes are thirds of the chords. Right, those are the notes that the melody note is hitting. So in this case, same thing, right? They've established that thing. And that's just a D, a C, and a D, right? So those against the chord. So what we can learn from that is if we hit thirds, then we're going to spell a chord sound without actually needing to spell the chord sound. And then the next bit is an A7. So it's the fifth to the third to the fifth, right? Against the chord. And again, the fifth is a really strong note, but because he's going down to the third with the vocal melody, or is it the fourth? Could be one or the other, I'm not really sure, I'm doing this by memory. But either way, it's spelling a chord sound, isn't it? And then to me, the song chord, it sort of reminds me, it feels like a real rocking sort of song. So I like a little bit of breakup on it. And to me, that's a really dynamic kind of sound. Clean, if I pick lightly. I did a video about boosting the front end of a amp or a modeler or whatever to kind of hit it, and that's what I'm doing with this one. It's just a boosted tone to be able to get that breakup, but it's like real breakup. It's the hitting the front. And then, right, that's the B minor chord. It's the fifth, right, pretty safe. Right, it goes to the third of the G. And then a resolution, right? So again, if we want something to sound really stable, we hit third note, the fifth of the note like that. Right? The fifth is the stable note, the third is the note that really spells the chord sound. Right? Right? So out of this, you can see by learning the melody, learning all the different riffs and things, and then kind of analysing what's really going on, we can take that and we can use that in our improvisation. So say I had a chord progression that was a blues. Let's go blues in A. I know if I want stable, I'm going to hit the fifth. And if I want to spell the chord sound, I'm gonna land to the third. So you can see I took something that was essentially a pop rock kind of tune by the Beatles and I used it to inform my jazz playing. I do this all the time. One of my favorite things to do is to learn vocal melodies, because I find they actually really, the way vocalists phrase, they have to think about leaving breaths and things in their melodies. I'll get it out. They have to think about leaving breaths in their melodies, right? Whereas a lot of other instrumentalists don't have to. And I think that, by checking out singers and what they're doing and learning it onto your instrument, be that guitar, piano, saxophone, whatever, it will really help your playing a lot. I'm big on phrasing. I think phrasing is a really important thing that's not talked about enough, and it's so important. So this is what I got from this tune when I learned the tune Come Together, was like phrasing, right? Hit the thirds, hit the fifths. Those are the key notes that are being hit pretty much through the melody the whole way. The fifths make it sound stable, the thirds spell the chord. Have the power of riffs, right? All these things are just, observations that you can go way deeper with this stuff as well, of course. But I just thought today I'd just give you a little bit brief kind of look at what I got from this song. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you are new around here, please subscribe. If you've been around for a while, then hit the notification bell, because I post every day 7:30 a.m. New Zealand time, which I think is the day before in the US and places like that, and it works out to be a reasonable hour for pretty much everywhere in the world except for New Zealand. But hey, once us Kiwis wake up, we're into this stuff, hopefully. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Cheers. Take care.